Hotep brothers and sisters, and welcome. I am your host, Kufu Amun Ra, metaphysical practitioner and Reiki master. Today's topic is African Americans and throughout the diaspora must emancipate our minds and get ready for what is coming. Brothers and sisters, we are now at the crossroads of our pure existence on this planet. This extinction did not start with 45, but he laid down the gasoline for all the other Caucasians to follow, and they have lit the flame. Now, I'm not here today to stoke this flame. I'm here today to warn you of what is to come so you can prepare your mind, body, and family for what is happening and what is about to happen and what is needed to be ready for it. We are at war that has already started, and you didn't get the memo. You see, I am a student of that great master teacher, Pan Africanist, Dr. John Henrik Clarke. May peace be upon him. And I will be sharing an excerpt from his book, Notes for an African World Revolution Africans at the Crossroads. Dr. Clarke had tried to relay this message to us for decades so we can be ready, and yet his teachings remain unheard by the majority of our people and our leaders, if you so call them that. I look at this book as a roadmap for our people to unite and prepare ourselves for a leadership role, not just in this country, but around the world. But before we can delve into Dr. Clarke's teaching, I'm going to take you through what I have found to be one of our most problematic issues. First and foremost, our humanity will be our downfall. Because of who we are as a people, since the beginning of time and space, our humanity has always helped our ancient African ancestors while living in Africa with the way of moral living with themselves and their neighboring African brothers and sisters until they were kidnapped and brought to America by a group of people who had no humanity since coming out of the Ice Age and the Caucasus Mountains. Once these people realized there were other groups of people out there other than themselves that had more riches and resources than they had, they set out to take it all, including the women and girls, and they killed everything else that stood in their way, including men, women, and children, to get access to the resources and to conquer the people of that land. This small group of people did this over and over in countries all over the world in the name of their newfound belief in Christianity, where they conquered in the name of God, stating God ordained them to take over and enslave all humans who didn't follow their religion or power. And once they conquered the land, they raped the women and brought about mixed races of people that they themselves named. Even in today's time, many groups are fighting over their race and culture, not knowing the true history and acknowledging where and how they came to be due to the lack of proper education. The science has finally told the truth to the world through their findings and research that in the beginning there was only one group of people on this planet, and yes, it was the African people. They were the mother and fathers of all of these so called races, and they were on this planet for millions of years before they finally ventured out of Akabulon. And after venturing out throughout the world and due to different climates and time, these Africans changed in features and color of their skin to adapt to their climates over hundreds of thousands of years. Today, you can find ancient African presence in every part of the world. These facts can be researched and shown to be true. So let us unite in unity to overcome these people who want to kill us just to be in power and control, and the fear if another race of people come in power, that race of people would treat them as they have treated others, which isn't true because history tells us so. This is their biggest fear. So we can stop right here and right now with all this fighting about being Hispanic or being Latino or Haitian or I'm Cuban or Jamaican or Native American or even white and realize that there is only one race of people, the human race. And it started with the African American woman. Let's agree upon that. Next, we must release the religions that are not working for our people and return to our spirituality of our ancient ancestors that did work for us. Religion is the other problem on why we can't unite. When they conquered the lands, they brought their own religion, Christianity, which was stolen from the Kemetic people of Alkebulan, not the Middle East, and reshaped and forced on the conquered people. Our ancestors here in America, were stripped of whom they were, their names, their culture, and customs. And let me not forget the food that they ate when they was in Akabulon. They were given a religion that was unknown to them, teaching our ancestors that God wanted them to be enslaved, and they, the oppressors, were given the authority to be over them. This religion was forced on them. If they didn't follow it, they would be beaten or killed. And over time, our ancestors came to believe what they were told, and most forgot their spirituality and moral way of living they had when they was in Akabulan. They lost them to live a moral life that they once knew. They lost their power. So why do our people today keep what has been holding us back for over 400 plus years? We have prayed to God of our oppressors for over 400 plus years, asking for just to be treated equally by other people and to stop them from killing us and our children. And has any of the prayers been answered in those years? You must say no if you're honest. They are continually killing us. The police continually kill us. And we say on public TV in front of the world that we forgive them for it because of the religion of Christianity tells them or us too. Brothers and sisters, this is madness. And the other races are looking at us as though we are stupid for forgiving a people who continually kill us and our children. We must emancipate our minds over these religions and say no more of this killing our people. Next, our power is in our spirituality system. There is power in our spirituality, and the other races know and fear it because they know our ancestors answer them. If you question this statement, study the Haiti Revolution and see who they prayed to and what happened to their enemies. They know something about our deep spirituality system that if we practice it, it will end their rule over the minds of our people. The majority of us haven't got a clue of the power we have because we have closed our minds in veneration to the ancestors that want to help us, but only if we call upon them. This fear they have about our spirituality is the reason they demonize it in the hopes to keep you away from something that will unite us and give us the power that the Creator has endured us with in the beginning of time and space. You need to learn and teach your children about what we really believe in before we was forced to believe in the oppressor's religion. Once you do, I will guarantee you that you will see a difference in your life and the lives of your children and how they will start to see their own people and in themselves. Next, the media and how it plays a role on how you perceive who we are. The media has been a propaganda machine since its establishment for what they like to call the far right, but let's call it what it really is. which is white supremacy talking points and agenda. It works to continue to promote the division, misinformation, and lies. Let me give you an example. It's 2021 now, and 2 out of every 3 white people voted for a man in 2020 that promoted hatred of people of color, locking people of color children in cages, and calling African countries shithole countries. Yet the media and TV shows show white men and black women at the same time all this is going on, being married and extremely happy with mixed kids. They make it a point to have lesbian couples and gay couples being shown in every TV show and movie and commercial. And most of the couples are African Americans. Yet they rarely ever show an African male with a white female. What is this subliminally doing to our youth mind and even our adults? It is promoting the degenerative foundation of the African male and female and the family structure that once united us. In turn, it decreases our population because 2 men and 2 women together cannot have children. Also, it tells the African people specifically and the African woman that she needs a white man to be accepted and to succeed and to be happy in this society. This is what the Africans are viewing. But how are these 2 out of 3 white people who voted for hatred in the past election see this? The white woman is seeing it as being replaced by the African woman because they, at this point in time in space, are having problems having children. The white man see it as losing power and money to people they think they should always be over and controlling of. So you may ask yourself, why are the media doing this, knowing how these changes make the races feel? There is a bigger plan that most people can't even imagine. But one reason is control. Let me explain. You can see it in the rise of homosexuality and lesbianism in the African American community. The media has now got African parents saying that their child was born this way, which is false. No child is born that way. It is a matter of choice and has been decided after seeing it represented on TV shows, in their favorite movies, everywhere our children turn, and adults now, they see it. Let me be clear. As Dr. Clark taught, this was not our culture. It is the culture of the Greeks and Romans in ancient times continued to this present day. But what better way to exterminate a race? Next is the big threat that is taking place right now. As I stated in the beginning, that we are at war right now, but no one is coming out and saying this. Why? The media can't because they don't want to start a panic amongst the people. Yet they just say our democracy is at stake. Here are some of the signs that we need to watch out for and continue to watch out for. The police are killing more of us on almost a daily basis around the world, and the government refuses to pass anything to stop it. And we have been dealing with this for over 400 plus years, protesting and begging for peace. Yet, the Asian hate bill was passed after just 1 year of them getting treated badly by the white public, who believed the big lie of the Republican Party that they put out. More white people are seeing that it's okay now to openly call African American people niggers and different slangs in public and get away with it. They are trying to turn back the clock of African voting rights with no sign of support to stop them, even from those who we elected. All this is going on while some of us sleep, still praying that some man in the sky is coming to save you. Next, we must relearn world history, which is African history, from those scholars who have suffered to bring the truth to us. In order for all of the melanated people throughout the world to stop this nonsense of the races and cultures, we must start to promote history from a different perspective, from that of the white narrative, and bring a consensus from the perspective of our teachers and those teachers who have researched it starting from the beginning of time and space up through today. The history we fight over has been written and given to us through their educational system and through their research to make the conquerors seem as though they started and invented everything, what some of us know that's the biggest lie. But because we have no power to change it, their masses, by their teaching as if it is the undisputed truth, once this type of curriculum is established and taught, you will see the beginning of a solidarity amongst the melanated people of the world and a more proud people full of unity as well. Here are just a few of the scholars that should be studied by a melanated people. First of all, Dr. John Henrik Clarke, Dr. Ben, Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Charles Finch, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Asher Dillard, Professor Kaba Hawatha Kameni, and Brother Ashwa Kwesi, who I've got to give props out to, changed my life 9 years ago. All of these scholars sacrificed their academic scholarly success in one form or another to bring the people the truth about who we were, what happened to us, and where we still must go. You never ask another man for your freedom. You must take it. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.